Take that story time.
Do you have a dating deal breaker, disaster, or dilemma? Let's talk about it. Welcome to the Dating Diaries.
Hey, happy hump day, happy Wednesday, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Dating Diaries. I am
my buzzer's over there.
Your buzzer is over there from yesterday. Oh, let me take off. It's not time yet for story time. Yikes. That was from last week. What's up, y'all? Come on in. Come on in.
What up, y'all? What up? What up? What up?
Oh my gosh. Mo, how has your Wednesday been so far?
Not bad. I'll just say
Hey,
that. What up? What up? It's halfway through the week. How are you feeling?
I feel good. I am Christal XO for anyone who is new here. If you are watching and you are a new guest, welcome. I am Christal XO. Like I said, I am one half of the Dating Diaries conversation. The other half, of course, is Scorpio Moe right there sipping on something in his cup.
Tea, green tea this time.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right. I had a little blackberry wine earlier. Just a little something. We had a little bit of rain today. Did you have rain today?
No, but it looked like it did. And I kept looking out the window, looking at the ground, and it just, I don't know, it's getting darker earlier.
It
now.
is, and I hate when it gets darker early.
I think it's a minute a day. I think last week or the week before last, it started getting dark. It said a minute a day or something to that effect.
Wow. I did not know that. You just taught me something I did not
know. But I think we don't completely go over it until the first week of November. Y'all can correct me. I know somebody will. I could have sworn
the end of October, but I know it's somewhere.
No. It's like right in that pocket, but I want to say they moved it up. That's why I say like not the end of November, pardon me, the beginning of November.
Okay.
I think it's like the first week of November.
Damn. I think we just leave it alone. Let's keep the dates.
Hey, no, the vote is still going on. And I don't know why is there an argument about it.
Who wants it to be dark? I hate when it gets dark early.
It's I don't know. It's depressing to me. I don't like it.
It is. I don't like it. I do not like it.
I like my long days. Pause.
Well, you know what? When I met you, you used to like long nights. So, hey.
Yeah, and I'm born in the fall, and I don't like fall. I like the clothes, but I don't like the weather.
I too was born in the fall babies. The beginning of fall. I was born in the beginning. No, when is the beginning of fall? September or is it October?
Well, we talking about fall weather.
Okay,
but you're right.
Yeah,
but you're right.
I'm the beginning of, and really like in Ohio where I'm from originally, the cold weather would definitely start. It would
them gray skies come early.
The gray skies do come early. And you know what? I gotta just say today, actually yesterday, or is it? Yeah, yesterday, an icon passed. Dolly Parton passed, and I'm sure you weren't. I don't know if you were a fan or not, but a lot of people were not necessarily like. Might not have known her through music, but knew her through just like, the pop culture aspect. And I gotta say today, this is gonna sound weird, but seeing all the outpouring of love, I actually saw a meme earlier where it was her talking like, hey, if you're hearing this, then I've had to say goodbye. And, just encouraging people. There were so many people that had so many nice things to say about who she was. And I just thought, man, you know what? We all have to go at some point. If you have to go, I would love to go like this, where there's so many, it's only positivity. I haven't seen anything negative.
She gave back.
Yeah.
And then it's a lot of things. I saw a couple interviews based on, how she felt about certain things. And she kind of stayed out the way. She didn't do it, even though she was in a few films, working 9 to 5, blah, blah. But she kind of stayed out the way. She's always stayed a hometown girl. She was generous with her music. She didn't gatekeep. She didn't do a lot of things. But I did see something controversial where people was like, all right, we had this outpour for her, and rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
But there were some other people that just passed, and we didn't get that same energy. Not even close.
Yeah. What do you mean? Like who would be an example of?
Like we were talking about Michael Wright, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, people quote him for the last 30 years. Huh?
But they did different things. I hate.
No. I get it, but we're just saying. I guess the support of us in the rest in peace. It wasn't like that. Like even a lot of people was even unaware that he even passed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it was somebody else that passed right before that. We just talked about the same day, I think.
I don't remember.
We talked about it on the show.
I don't remember who it was, but I
that's the point.
But it's not always like it's just the impact. I mean, it's the impact of what that person.
No, I agree. But their thing was, what was her impact to Black people? And we see all these Black people coming out saying this for her, this for her.
Because a person is not Black does not mean they can't impact you positively.
No, I know. Like I said, I agree with you, and that's why I liked seeing the interviews where she was speaking positive, and she didn't do the Hollywood thing, and you know,
she stayed in Nashville. She was married. You know, her husband passed in March, and
of this year.
Of this year, yep.
Did not know that.
Yeah, she was actually supposed to go on tour. She said that she had some health issues, and she said she was gonna. She canceled the tour last year, and she said she was going to go on tour this year, but this year things have been slow. There's videos of her saying, you know, hey guys, I've just been a little dehydrated. Turns out she was dealing with cancer, but I think probably even more so, you know, her husband, and she missed her husband. They've been married for a really long time. And a lot of times you see people like that when one spouse goes, especially when they've been together like for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
The other one, you know, is has a hard time, you know.
Because she popped up on something recently in the last few years. I forget what it was. Some type of, was it a sporting event? She was like a guest, and she just popped out, and people were like, you know, the surgery was, you know, she still looked.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, for 80 years old. But anyway, I just wanted to say that, like, I'm like, if I want to leave a positive, you know, presence. I want people to feel. I know people are going to be sad when you go, but I think a lot of people were smiling, you know, when they think about the things that she said. She was always about encouraging, and I don't think everything has to always be a racial thing. Like sometimes it's just good people. Like, you know, you can just be a good person.
I say that.
We got to stop doing that, y'all.
It's what you do while you're here. That's why you want to contribute. That's what's gonna, you know, be left behind in what people say about you. So if you were a mean, angry, disrespectful person, like I just saw this thing on, and I'm not wishing anything on her or saying people are gonna say anything bad. I'm just using this as an example. I saw a clip earlier about Anita Baker and her attitude. And it was like from Rick James to Mickey Howard to, and it was people that had several negative things to say how they treated, how she treated them.
Right. Even
you know, Luther, everyone. You know.
Yeah.
So you just never know, and that's going to be your legacy, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or they're part of it.
And it doesn't matter if you have, you know. Everybody has something that they're dealing with, you know, everybody has something. A lot of people are like, oh, well, if somebody is going through something, that may give them a right. But you know what? We all are going through something. So you got to just, you know, how you show up when you are going through things, I think is a testament to your true character.
That part. And just understand, none of us are leaving here alive.
Right. That's why I'm like, it's sad, but it's also like at 80 years old, that's a life well lived. And she did a lot of good while she was here. People like, what did she do for Black people? She actually took the money that she made from Whitney, the song that she did, that Whitney Houston did. And actually put it into a community that was part of Whitney's history. So I mean, she did
That's
a
true.
lot. Yeah, she did a lot, but just for humanity. Her father could not read, and so she gave a lot. Literacy was one of her biggest charities that she would give to, because she didn't want she wanted kids to have the opportunity to make sure they could read, because she realized her father could not. Anyway, I didn't want to spend my time on that. I just thought we're inundated with Dolly Parton memorabilia today. And for anybody that would say they don't understand why, they really weren't aware of her impact. She also has the cake mixes. Did you know that? She has cake mixes and frosting in the store. I've tried it. I've baked one of her cakes. It was very delicious. She also has the hotel in Nashville that I drove by when I was in Nashville, because it's not finished yet. But it's beautiful. And
she also had legendary breasts. We can't ignore that. Yeah, I think a lot of women were inspired to get big breasts because they seen how Dolly looked with the little waist and big breasts. There's nothing wrong with that.
Wherever your inspiration comes from.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's nothing wrong with
Wherever you find and pull inspiration. Okay.
Yeah.
She I guess when you do think of Dolly, you think of big hair and big breasts. You do. Have you been to Dollywood? Tammy, I can't. My daughter and I were supposed to go.
Me and my sister, when it came out, I don't know why I went. I don't know why they took me.
You went to Dollywood?
No, nigga, no.
Oh, I was like, what?
We went to go see Working 9 to 5.
Okay. I was getting ready.
I thought it was funny.
It was funny. Yeah, it was funny. That was hilarious. You were tagging along.
I don't know. I just found an activity for me to do and whatever it was. And we went. I remember seeing it in the movie theater. And it was funny. That and The Incredible Shrinking Woman. We went to go see both of those. And both of those had Lily Tomlin in
Tomlin? Okay.
Tomlin, whatever.
I thought you were going to say that you went to Dollywood. I was getting ready to say I would find those.
I live 10 minutes from Six Flags and I've never been there. So why would I go to Dollywood?
I didn't even know there was such a place until a few years ago. Tammy, you have to let us know. Dollywood? No, I didn't know that until.
I knew about that for at least 30 years. Did
you also know that she is having a line of truck stops? Because when I went on the road with Adrian, a gun boss, we passed and he was like, yeah, Dolly Parton is making truck stops.
Hey.
And they are, I don't know who had that idea. She wanted to make sure.
No, it's so much money if you do it right, especially if you can get a theme out. That truck stop stuff is real, man. It's money in there. They got to stop somewhere.
They got to stop. My honey bunny has to stop. And he has to get a shower. Yeah.
Hey, man, that's a smart one right there. If you can get one of them.
And you would never think that she would be doing that. You know what I mean? Like,
they gotta spend that money. If not, IRS gonna take it. They gotta spend it.
Yeah, but that's just a smart business model that's not sexy like a lot of celebrities like to do sexy stuff. But anyway, I just thought life well lived and wanted to acknowledge that. Let's get into the dating diaries of it all. You know what? I think before we get into that, we have not done this because we've been doing these stories, which I like, but I think we should go back to doing our old fashioned dating dilemmas, dilemma, deal breaker,
disasters, I'm tapped out.
You cannot possibly be.
I can't really think it. That's why I started doing. I'm tapped out. I can't.
What about dilemma? What about dilemmas though?
Well, obviously, if there was a past dilemma, I got past it.
But
if I get a current dilemma, I will let you guys know.
Okay, I know one that we talked about when we were friends. That was a dilemma that you had. That I think we can share and see what people think about it. Since you can't remember nothing. Since you are stuck. All right. I remember we had a conversation. You were like, I think, what if you were dating somebody, you guys are in a good place, but they are a horrible kisser?
Oh, yeah.
Do you give them a chance? Do you try to teach them? Is that something that can be taught? What makes a bad kisser? What makes a good kisser? Do you know, how do you approach it?
Yeah. Yeah. That's tricky, especially the older you are. Them people ain't changing. I don't think you can change. If you ain't got it by your teens, you ain't changing.
By your teens?
Yeah. Well, I mean, by late teens, if you ain't caught the rhythm, because it's about rhythm, right? And it's for me, it's also an indicator on how the other part will be.
I think so.
It's an indicator. If
but
I,
okay, how old were you when you had your first kiss?
Oh, tongue.
Yes, with the tongue.
I don't know. And the funny thing is, she just started following me on Instagram.
Your first
She
kiss?
put her tongue in her mouth when we were playing hide to go seek. We hid behind this door, and then she just turned around and I didn't know what it was, but I wanted her to do it again.
So
Roxanne, I'll just say her name is Roxanne. I ain't gonna say her last name.
And she just tongued you down?
Yeah, we were all in the building playing hide to go seek, and then, I guess she was feeling away, and she turned around, and I was a little kid. I didn't know what was going on, but I liked it.
How old were you, and how old was she?
I had to be 8, and she had to be at least 12.
This story has taken a turn.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Shout out to Roxanne.
I don't think we should shout her out. I mean, she was a kid.
I just saw her photos. She has a beautiful family. Well, I ain't seen the family. I just saw her and her son. They look nice. She's traveling the world. God bless her.
She tried.
Boy, did I dodge a bullet. Woo.
Here we go again. Oh my God.
Man.
Maybe that's why you don't have a lot of patience with the kissing, because you started at 8.
Well, she did it to me, and I was just anyway. But when I started to get it, it was maybe 14 or whatever. Just really, you learn from girls who are faster. It was always by girls faster, and then you just follow what they're doing, and it's a rhythm. Okay. And you try to catch the rhythm, or you guys find a rhythm in between. And that rhythm doesn't take long to find. If it takes long to find, it ain't right.
I do agree. I do. You guys let us know, is bad kissing a deal breaker for you in a relationship? I think for me, it is a deal breaker. It is a deal breaker because I just think it shows how you approach it. To me, passion is the most important thing. Passion is the most important thing. And if we don't have the same type of passion, then I don't know where are we going from here? Where do we go from here? In the words of Stacey Lattisaw and Johnny Gill, where do we go from here? And
then it's like, it's the lead into the other part, right?
It is.
And then if you skip that, then it's just like, you just be like, hey, just look that way. And man, like, how do you?
Have you been with someone that did not like kissing?
They tell you that in the beginning. They're like, I'm not much of I don't really. And then you just be like, and then you just don't do it. But they're also not huggers. They're not intimate people.
Right. So how do you? Okay. Back to my roots. 9811 says, to be honest, I'm not too keen on swapping saliva.
Who said that? Oh, I see.
So how do you get started with the other stuff? How do you open the door?
Right. Y'all just get to it.
I don't see how you get. I mean, what do you do first?
You kiss them on the neck and just ignore the mouth.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
You just start from here and go down. You don't start from here.
You're still kissing. You're just not kissing on.
No, but it's the, how the tongues and the wet stuff. I don't like that neither. Don't be slobbing on. And I got all this wet. That's not good either.
That is probably the worst kiss. I think I told this story before. My first kiss was horrible. I was 15 or 16. And I had been very nervous about this. My friends and I had been talking. Most of them had experienced it. And I was just nervous. I was in my head. And I might have been 15. And I remember it was too much wetness. And I could taste, I've told this story before, it was Skittle juice. The guy had just eaten a lot of Skittles, and it was just too much. It was when he went back to class, my whole down here smelled like spit and Skittles.
That part.
Bad.
That part.
Horrible. Jesus. Too much tongue, too much wetness.
If you got to do this afterwards, it's not good.
I don't like. I remember seeing in Harlem Nights. I remember because we went to the movie theater to see that, back in, that was one of my dates in high school. And I remember that either Eddie Murphy or what's Whitley Gilbert's name? Jasmine Guy. They had this sex scene and he licked her face. Yeah. I don't like the licking. I'm not into the licking of the face. Don't lick my face. I've had somebody do that too. I don't like that. It leaves a trail of saliva. It's not
now,
good.
I will suck a bottom lip from time to time.
That's nothing wrong with that. That's not the same. Licking is just out of the blue, just like a dog. It's out of the blue.
You know what's funny about that? As a grown man in my 40s, mm-hmm. I had a girl do this to me on my face. In a restaurant, mind you. It was Applebee's, but it was a restaurant.
What had happened? Did you have food around your mouth?
She said it was a little dry right here. She went like I was her son. So spit off me.
I never even did that to my kids. I just don't.
My father used to do that to me, and he had smoker spit. My father, that's how I got. My father on the way to school, he'd get you right, and go. And then I got walking to school with all, and then it dried up if it's cold outside. Worse than the spit. I've
never seen a father do that. I didn't know.
Well, he was a single father.
Well, yeah, he was filling in the gaps, and so that's what the mothers do. My God. Yeah, I've never done. I don't think I did that to Mike. I just don't like. I don't like the spit. But so put in the chat, and let me check Instagram as well. If you are dating somebody, for some reason Instagram is not working. If you're dating somebody and they are a horrible, you learn they're a horrible kisser, is that grounds to stop dating them?
Because I'm going to miss it if I don't get it.
Have you done that before?
Kind of. We just went to pecking and that was it.
I have just stopped because I just feel like we're not compatible. You're doing too much. You're doing too much. You're doing too much with the. I had this one guy that would just put his tongue in your mouth and just wiggle it around. And then just
remember Bubblicious, the gum, or Hubba Bubba, those gums?
I do.
That's how you practice. You put 2 in your mouth and then you practice. That's how you practice.
That is hilarious. Wait a minute, huh?
Yeah, you make it big, then you put your tongue. It's just working your tongue. But it's kind of halfway practice because you really have to develop a rhythm with that person. And the rhythms could be different. But you catch the rhythm or you discover a rhythm and you stick to that.
How is the Hubba Bubba helping you? I don't understand that.
Because your technique, that's how you get your technique there.
I don't see that was when you're younger. That does not
because
work.
There's a kisser, there's a leader, and there's a follower. As a man, establish your part in being the leader.
So what is your ratio of lip to tongue to mouth? What is the ratio? That's a good rule of thumb.
Medium tongue.
Okay.
Medium mouth. It's a lot of mediums. Don't open it too wide. Don't open it too little. I need medium mouth, medium tongue, and 2 times this side, 2 times over here, 2 times up in town. I suck your tongue. You suck my tongue.
So it's like 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3.
It's
4,
tennis. 4. That's why they say love in tennis. It's tennis.
Blondie said that is petty. I don't know about all the timing, the 8 count, but
no, I'm that part of you
okay,
find your rhythm. That's all it is.
But I tell you something else is probably going to be bad. I don't I don't think I enjoy kissing a person that doesn't have any lips or that has very thin lips. I like it.
Yeah. Maybe that's the reason why I ain't never been one of them Caucasian ladies. I don't think I could do it.
Well, some of them have lips. Most of them don't. But
they ain't got top and bottom. I know that for a fact. It's usually the top.
Some of us don't have top and bottom either. My honey does not have top. He does have bottom. I told him it's like white on the top and black on the bottom.
There it is.
Yeah, but yeah, that is B-Body Rich says bad kissing is not a deal breaker. You can talk through it. Not kissing at all is a deal breaker. I don't know. If I don't like it, I just rather not do it.
Yeah, because then it's just it to me it's the lead and it throws everything else off for me.
It does. I maybe we're petty, but I think we're gonna vote. You guys have got to vote in the chat. Let us know if is bad kissing a deal breaker for you. Put an X if it is not. If that's a no, put an O if it's a yes. If it's not a deal breaker, put an X. If it is a deal breaker, put an O. So I will tell you another dating disaster that I remember having, because I just want to bring some light to the fact that women often are catfished as well.
Okay.
Because a lot of times men act like they're the only ones that are catfished. Okay. Because sometimes men do not look like they do in their pictures either. Okay. So I remember there was this guy that I was had met online when I was online dating, and his pictures were extremely, extremely cute, very cute. I don't know if he caught the right angle. Really, it was just one picture because there wasn't a lot of pictures up there.
That's the red flag right there.
That's before I knew. I didn't know. I didn't talk to you about it first. I just thought because this one picture was very convincing. You know how you get it in your head. You look at the person's picture and you start kind of getting excited because you like what they look like, right?
And start building a story in some cases.
Start building a story. So this guy was a firefighter. He had a good picture. What's up, Popcorn 526? We went out, and I remember we went to this this little restaurant, sushi restaurant, and he did not look anything at all like the picture. I don't even know. Maybe the picture
was it him?
I don't know. I'm thinking because back then, this was years ago, so I don't think people did. It wasn't as much like. It
was it old him?
It might have been older him. I think it was just a different angle. That this man, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, he looked like it was the Craig Mack situation. And I remember sitting across the table, and I was trying to squint. I was trying to, because it was really different than, and we had really good conversation because I was excited about the picture. But I remember trying to look through, squint my eyes a little bit, and I was like, this is just crazy. It was so different, but I remember thinking, Blondie said it happened to her too. I remember thinking that I did not want him to feel bad because I was like, he probably will feel bad because it was such a, it was really, really different.
And you were already at the date.
Yeah, I was already on the date, but I didn't want him to feel bad I didn't want him to I just didn't want to hurt his feelings.
Either you gonna feel bad or he gonna feel bad.
No, I just stayed like this through dinner. And
I guarantee you, if you had paid for dinner, it wouldn't have been dinner. You wouldn't have done it. You would have been mad then.
I would have, because I paid for my own. In fact, I offered to pay for my own because
That's why.
No, because I told you I started paying for my own because I started noticing I got tired of guys getting angry if they paid for you and you guys didn't go out again. So I just was like, I'll just always pay for my own initially, and then I stopped. But yeah, it was really, 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 really bad. But it made me realize just because a person, you're not attracted to the person, we still had a good conversation. It just was it felt like a letdown because I had put so much on it. So then I learned to just not, because some people are very photogenic and then you see them in person and they don't quite look the same. And then there are some people that, they actually look better in person, and their pictures are not as good.
Ran into that too.
Yeah. So I just kind of learned to not get too excited until you saw them in person, because depending on the lighting and, just.
So after that, would you have done now obviously you're married, but like, I think two FaceTime is, what I mean?
FaceTime. This was before. I didn't used to FaceTime at all. This was before it really got super popular. But yeah, I would definitely, after that, I definitely wanted to see, because it was such a huge drop off.
One picture is a big indicator. One picture and only from here up.
Men, I don't think the weight thing is so big, because I don't think men are, first of all, I don't think men are ashamed when they're fat.
Well, I just heard a story where a woman told me, this is the first time I heard, I'm glad you brought this up. She said he was in his car trying to tuck his fat in.
What?
She said he was sitting back. She was like, I was like, I couldn't understand it. She was like, I used to be big, trust me. She said, I could tell the way he was sitting in the car. He was positioning his arms to try to keep everything tight in, right? She said, but the way the light was hitting from the roof of the car, she said, I believe he had breasts. And that's what kind of was like, yo, something is not. She said, but she could tell he wouldn't move his arms. And she said he tucked his fat in under his side in his arms. And then when they finally went out, that's when she really seen it. But he was a firefighter. And he said he did not want to talk to people in this business, in the firehouse. She said, that's the reason why he would talk, or that time he talked in the car. And she was like, So she could tell the way he was positioned in, he was tight like this, and he was trying to make himself appear smaller. I'm just telling you what she told me.
I don't think you can tuck fat in.
I did. This is the first time. I don't know. I'm not. That's what she said.
A girl that tucked fat in. I'm laughing because you're stupid. Mo.
Yes, I have. Not like that, but I have. Oh God, yes. Not like that, but I have.
How?
Sitting down, and you also tuck it in by putting stuff. I noticed in every photo she had something in front of her.
Okay.
And then she did this. This is a tricky one. If they only do this angle, I'm hip to that. I know what this angle does.
Is that I've learned. So if a person is the camera's up there, is it a big difference when the camera is just face forward?
Yeah, because it brings everything smaller at the bottom. When you hold it up, it makes the bottom smaller.
Okay. All right.
It's a perspective. It's that's real. Okay. So they don't like tuck it in like that, other than with Spanx and all this other stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about camouflage.
Okay.
Camouflage tucking.
Camouflage is not tucking it in. That's trying to hide it.
Well, there that is.
Yeah. I know women have Spanx and stuff like that to hold it in.
Yeah, I get that. But
what do you think about those Spanx, those commercials? Because I think I've sent you some where the woman is a total different size and she tucks it all in the Spanx and the Spanx pulls it in.
I think you need to be spanked for doing that when it's that thing. Because I don't know how far they go down. Like if you're this, you go get this to make it smaller. But I would assume it's very uncomfortable throughout the evening.
I would think so. Because I know for me, Spanx are, I mean, you wear them because it's the right thing to do. It keeps the things, everything smoothed out. You don't want your cheeks shaking as you walk. It's just not appropriate. it is inappropriate. And it draws the wrong attention. If you're at work or you're, doing something besides being out on a boat with a guy, you don't want your cheeks jiggling. You want to keep everything in. You want to smooth it out. You don't want the movement. And so that's, Spanx or undergarments are, it makes you look a lot better in the dress.
They are very hard to take off. Because I tried to take a few off for some ladies, and it's a lot.
Why did they have you taking those off?
Well, according to them, they didn't know what was going to happen, and then I felt all this stuff. She was like, "Let me go to the bathroom and take care," because it's a lot. And they weren't big women.
Yeah,
she just said she wanted to firm it.
Yeah, it's not about the size. I don't think it changes your size, but some of these now, but you know what it does? It may not change size or girth, but it does change the flabbiness.
It does not the silhouette though?
The silhouette is different. If it's lumps and bumps, it smooths out the lumps and bumps. That's
changing the silhouette. Right?
Okay, yeah. So like cellulite or just bumps in the lumps. It'll smooth those out. You know what those are.
It's just like the big thick bras. I don't like them.
Well, that's because it's not necessarily, even the women that are very thin may have a little extra skin or flappage that lays over the I'm not. That's fine. I'm moving on to the next topic. You know it's true. Don't act like you've never been with somebody that had a little extra hanging over the bra. First of all,
I don't mind that.
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure you weren't trying to act a fool.
No, I'm saying as a man trying to take it off.
Why can't you just unhook the bra? I don't know.
It's darkest in the main there. The thing to get it off is around back, and then you're trying to unhook stuff.
You should have had practice with that.
But this one had like 5 or 6 buttons going all the way down. Just dumb shit.
Dumb shit.
So you try to go in the front, and that's when I told you your arm hit. You go up there and you try to hold this back, and then you let go of pow like a mousetrap. Anyway, let's change it. I don't want to get let's change it.
I don't understand why a woman would have you taking her Spanx off though. That is crazy. That is not. I
tried to take them off. She went in the bathroom and finished it.
Yeah, you gotta just, ladies, if you're ever with the gentleman, the appropriate thing to do is go to take those off yourself in the bathroom.
I don't think she meant that was going to happen, and I know she didn't mean it was going to happen. She didn't know.
So it was just y'all were scrambling.
Yeah, well, it was off guard. Things happen because if a woman knows she's going to do that, I would assume that the undergarments are going to match.
Yeah.
And she had mismatched undergarments, so that made me believe her.
Does that bother you?
I was about to say, I'm still going to do what I'm going to do. It doesn't matter.
Is it going to cause you pause? Is it going to cause pause?
Unless they're so old.
If it's clean landing, we're just moving forward. So purple.
That's about it.
If it's white granny panties and a sexy bra, no worries.
Gotta complete the mission.
Oh my gosh! But do you feel the same way now that you did when you were younger? Like, because I know sometimes guys can be when they're younger, because they're probably getting the quantity, the numbers are probably high. So if the girls, not her lingerie doesn't match up, does that impress you? What does it do when you uncover it and it's the same? It's all Victoria's Secret out. What is that? Is that a good sign?
It's a great sign, and I think she anticipated for things to possibly happen. If they're mismatched, I'm pretty sure she didn't, and I believe her when she say I don't know about necessarily I don't do this all the time, but I wasn't thinking this was going to happen. If she knows or there's a possibility, she gonna make sure the joints match.
That's true. I
That's
remember
my
one
theory.
time I was telling myself this is not going to happen. This was I had revisited, I had spun the block, and I was like, I'm going to put something in place to make sure that this does not happen at the end of the night. And so what I did is I put on the ugly granny panties, and unfortunately, it was not a full state plan. It was not.
See,
It
that's
was
you
not.
trying to convince you. You see what I'm saying? I
I
know I'm not. If I do this, I'm not going to do it. You see
That's
what
what
I'm
I
saying?
thought. If I had these underwear on, I'm definitely not. Unfortunately, that was not. And then I just looked stupid. I looked really stupid. I mean, I don't know if the person was concerned, but
Hell,
tried.
it probably was.
I tried to put something in, like a parking brake on, and unfortunately, it drove through. Drove through anyway. Marriott says, "What's that? What is that wobbly doll, Mo?"
Cause. KAWS. Cause. The little figurines I collect.
Oh, okay. All right. Those are the things. I see those everywhere. I don't know what they mean. Tammy said, "Is it Bullwinkle?"
It is not.
I love our people because
I got them all around here.
only we know who Bullwinkle is. Nobody, the other generations do not know, but we know.
They do not.
And that is hilarious. And it does look like Bullwinkle. All right, let's get into the first question for tonight. And obviously there's been a social media conversation going around about this Yada Awakening fella and his wife. Huge social media scandal. This man pays his wife $150,000 per pregnancy per child, plus $250,000 a year to be a stay-at-home mom with their fifth child, making her annual income $1 million a year. This is a beautiful family picture of the social media influencer Yada Awakening and his wife. I don't know her name. And they have a beautiful family, 5 children. I'm sorry. So social media.
That's $500,000 right there.
Yeah. That's. I mean, well, when you add up the kids, 5 at 150.
Yeah,
Well,
over $500,000.
Yeah, it's definitely over $1 million. But the issue here is, I guess there was these people had over 5 million, I think, to combine, almost like a 20 million person following. And then the young lady came out day before yesterday and put up a post and said that she is sorry to inform all of their fans and the people that believed in them, but unfortunately she's been dealing with domestic violence in the relationship for over 5 years. She said her 20s were filled with babies and bruises, which is a crazy statement. And so my question tonight, because I was not aware of these people until this came out, right?
Me neither.
I guess they're just not in our demographic. But what I want to ask you guys, and I want us to kind of talk about that. What is it that makes people have such follow certain people so much? Is it the look of the perfect family? Is it the look of perfection? Is it because I watched some of his videos after this happened, and to me, and maybe it's because I'm a seasoned person. Yeah, she said the abuse was happening for 8 years. That is crazy. And I also want to say this is all legend. We don't know. So we don't know if she's telling the truth. We don't know. We don't want to say that she's not being honest, but it's still, we don't know. And it's kind of hard to make a judgment about someone else's relationship. But what I'm trying to figure out is why people are so vested in some of these social media romance influencers. When I watched his videos, he was saying, I give my woman all this money just for the fact that she's here. I immediately was like, this sounds like some BS. it didn't sound at all believable or real to me. Because I think, and you guys probably will understand what I'm coming from. When you've worked for your money, right? No matter if you are a gazillionaire or a millionaire or 100-aire, 1,000-aire, 100-aire, whatever you have, whatever you own, the value of the dollar. So when you say, I'm just going to give her $250,000 because for a stay-home salary, first of all, that's still in the household. But that all those numbers are, to me, like, it sounds like BS. It doesn't sound believable, because when you know what that looks like, it's like, who's just throwing around numbers like this?
But see, that's the thing. Like first of all, a seasoned person is a little smarter than that. So we're not the audience. The audience are the people that buy into fantasy. Mm-hmm. And it's usually a single woman looking for that, or thinking that might be the way to go, or that's what she desires, or that's what she deserves. Mm-hmm. So that's the target audience. That's why we never heard of this. It's not going to be in our algorithm, because that's not what it is. I think he has a target audience that's still running on fantasy. And it worked, and it works. And I hate to say this, but that mentality is other places too. I'm not going to say where, but it's in a lot of other places that we visited on a weekly basis. I'll go as far as say that. And you play on the fantasy of the single woman.
No, I think we should say it. I think we should talk about it, because I think that's what I wanted to talk about this evening, because I remember I actually, let me see if I can pull it up. I actually interviewed Derek Jackson on this, who was a big influencer on this channel. This is before you and I started doing this, and I was just doing
I seen the interview.
And I remember thinking it was weird, because he did not ever really like look me in the eye. Mm-hmm. And I remember just being underwhelmed when I met him in person, right? Because online I would listen to him and I was like, some of the stuff he says, it sounds good. But it just didn't gel with what I have heard. He wasn't talking like my guy friends. Like, he didn't talk like you or like some of the other ones. So I just felt like I felt like he was really looking for something, but I didn't realize at that point in time, how much money people were making online by getting on and talking to people all the time. Mm-hmm. I'm not stupid so I did realize as a man that fits the physical aesthetic that a lot of women are looking for. Mm-hmm. He's tall, he's muscular, he's a good looking guy. He was a football player, I believe, in high school. So I knew he's pandering using his looks. And I think a lot of men do that. Like, I know I've talked about that, like, on Ready to Love, like, and I like Mike Bless. I consider him a friend. But when I see him on social media with no shirt on in the bed talking, we know who he's talking to.
But he's got their attention. Now, the message behind the attention afterwards shows that person's character. You see what I'm saying?
Right. But I think just like when we were talking to Truth Hurts, I'm asking him, like, that women are checking in. Are they actually checking in because they want to really know the truth, or are they just checking in because they like you? And unfortunately, I think this happens with reality, the social media influencers. It happens with pastors. It happens with teachers. Like, people become fixated on the messenger and not the message. And
I don't mind that.
Okay.
Use it if it gets their attention. I'm more concerned about the message afterwards. If you sent me a video today and it started out one way, then she got my attention. You see what I'm saying? And this wasn't like a woman like that. It was her story she was talking about that got my attention. But then she was like, that's not really it. I just wanted to tell you about such and such. And it had nothing to do with her look, but her story was a grabbing story, but then it flipped. So whatever it takes to get the people's attention, then you drive home the message of whatever that is. I get it. I mean, if you're blessed in whatever areas or whatever, cool. I don't have a problem with that. And if you're misusing it, then I have a problem.
Yeah. But what if the I'm trying to look for my interview with Derek Jackson.
And then you got to figure, like, we say that, and then Look who look, I shouldn't say pray. Look at the woman he that was his wife. And there's no disrespect to her, right?
The lady that we just put up here?
No, the lady that no, Derek Jackson.
Derek Jackson, yeah.
And we see that situation. That's the biggest, I would think that's the biggest audience that follows her, that whatever that is. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The woman looking for somebody that might not be as aesthetic as people think that he could get. And maybe she's more seasoned and experienced to not fall for him. But the woman that might have a more difficult time or doesn't get the instant attention will be the woman that follows him.
Okay. It's crazy because I thought Derek Jackson's wife, this is the thing with him, and I wasn't trying to talk about him, but I thought she was actually really cute. It just, she wasn't positioning herself correctly. Like, he had her on the show in a bonnet and looking very homely. And I'm just like, why would you have her looking like that? And then he was out cheating with a lot of other women, but this guy was not cheating, but he was, which is worse. I'd rather you cheat than put your hands on her, right? And
he said he was doing both.
Well, unfortunately, they usually do go together. They do usually go together.
I'm not laughing at the hands of the beating. I'm just saying.
No,
but I mean, it's tough, man.
Because it proves you don't really value that. But what do you think? Do you think that, I feel like somebody said earlier, Monique said, always needing praise and validation is a problem. And I agree with that. Like, I don't trust the people that are in relationships that are constantly putting the relationship in your face and constantly bragging. That just doesn't feel genuine to me. And it doesn't, I just don't, I don't understand that. And I also know, from being in a relationship for a long time, my first marriage, and then now relationships are not perfect. So I would never want to be a couple influencer. Like, I wouldn't want to be an influencer. I don't think that's my.
It's too much pressure.
Yeah, but because there's going to be a time that you and that person, first of all, I think it takes the focus off the main thing in the relationship, which is supposed to be the two of you. And now you're doing things to prove to other people that you all are good, even when you're not. So it just feels not authentic and genuine anyway. And then people are putting you on a pedestal that you're asking them to put you on. And then when something becomes apparent that there's a problem, then everything is shattered and your business goes its separate way. Like
Will Smith and Jada. Yeah. Imagine getting into an argument earlier that day, and then you got to walk the red carpet with them, and you got to make it seem like y'all just ain't get into it in the limo over there. Mm-hmm. And that type of pressure, like, you're human. I saw something where Rihanna and ASAP Rocky got into the car after a red carpet, and you could see her like motioning, like, and he's throwing his hands up and she's pointing, and that's just real sometimes.
It is.
But the world gets to see it.
The thing about Rihanna that I like is that she is always very honest about, so I don't think she ever puts herself in a position to seem to be like things are perfect here. She's always like, on real, right?
Yeah, she is.
I can't find that interview. It's from a long, long time ago. It was one of the first interviews I did on camera, and it was at Rolling Out. And I interviewed him and Blue, this other actor, the same day. But I remember feeling like it's kind of strange because he just didn't look me in the eye. And then later when I learned all that, I was surprised to learn that he was cheating at the level that he was because he was such a public figure, and the things that he were doing was very, very stupid. Like, he was texting people on social media, knowing they could take the screenshots. And even this gentleman, his whole entire, I guess, message is, I treat my wife good because I'm this type of man. And all the while, hey, Linda, you are. physically abusing your wife. And there's no way y'all have all that money. Anytime somebody is doing a lot of showboating, I just say people that are watching, do not believe it, because a lot of these influencers that are saying they're multimillionaires, they're not. They're really not. And it just befuddles me why people are so quick to believe and buy into and follow them. We were watching yesterday a guy that I don't know this guy's name. He's another influencer, and he was talking about the situation, and he was saying that they also were selling stuff. It's all a way to get people connected so that you want to, follow them. I understand that there's a lot of content out there, and people finally pretty much are drawn to what they're missing, maybe, or what they aspire towards. But I just hope that there are, if there are any single women that watch this channel, y'all don't get caught up in that. That's crazy.
Know what sells more than anything is hope. That's why the lottery is the way it is. That's why the lottery, in the liquor store, there's always the lottery. You get it's hope. The idea that you can get this too.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So that's why I say the demographic, those guys' demographic is single women. It
is. And I just want, also, even there are even women, because that's another thing that talks about, like, and we're getting ready to watch a segment from Kendra G's show here in a minute. But Kendra, I like, because I don't feel like Kendra is selling a dream. But there are other people that I see on social media, and they're not in a relationship, and they're telling women how to be in relationships, and women are following them and taking their advice to the point where they will not listen to a man. They would listen to this person, not even a man, not listen to someone that knows them. They would listen to someone that they have that really that person's only connection with them is that they are using them as a consumer. You follow me, you like my posts, you share my posts. I'm not being genuine with you. I'm using your need for hope. I'm taking advantage of that and making a career out of it for me. And everybody, getting the money how they get it. But I just hope people stop buying into these relationship, people that are pushing something that's not real. It's
especially when you can tell, especially when they never say their faults, their errors, their like that. That's when like most people's social media pages are their highlights, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not mad at that. I'm not one of them people who say you only show the good. Yeah, I don't want to be. I live my life, so I don't have to post my bad stuff. I know what it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But when you have the opportunity to talk to people, when they say they should live like you, I don't think it's anything wrong to tell people about your trials and tribulations. Not use it as a self, but just be like, dehumanize yourself.
Right.
And be like, I'm human, you're human. I have this book. Maybe it can help you because it helped me to write it. And I want to put, I respect that.
Right.
But when it's just all grand and all this stuff and they never say anything wrong, you should be like that. What's the girl down there that the IRS and the feds got on her? And she started giving that money back. She's out of Florida.
Oh, Stormy Wellington.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a whole nother. But that's the thing. Like, whenever somebody, their whole spiel is bragging on what they have and making you feel bad because you don't. That is I don't understand why people follow folks like that. I don't get it. And they do, and they always do really, really well. People love, looking at something that looks like something that they've never had access to, I guess. Right. But if somebody is bragging about what they have and making you feel less than, we just said, like with Dolly Parton, one of the things that everybody loved about her is that she made a movie called 9 to 5. She didn't have a 9 to 5. I don't know if she ever had a 9 to 5, because she was doing what she's been doing since she was very young. But she was not somebody that used her success to make others feel bad. And it's crazy because a lot of those influencers, that's exactly what they do. They use their alleged or fake success, throw it in your face to make you feel bad about you, and then make you follow them. And then they're not even being authentic about what they have.
The Tate brothers, who are in jail right now still, waiting trial or whatever the case, it came out that all the stuff was rentals, and people would get like it was all staged, you know, and you know it and when you do that, unfortunately, it does attract real things, right?
Yeah.
But you can only fake it for so long.
You can only fake it for so long. It's going to come out. And then when it does come out, a lot of people are probably going to feel duped. But I would just say, and I guess the demographic had to be younger women, because any man who is bragging about giving his woman $1 million and then shaming other men that can't, that's just not somebody that we should be giving any amount of energy towards. You know, so I hate that this happened. I hope this young lady, you know, if everything that she's saying is real, and you know, I would never, you know, try to say that yay or nay, and I'm not trying to not believe, you know, not empower a victim, but it's just like we just don't know, because we don't know. You've been saying one thing and and you guys are doing this, and now all of a sudden, and then the very scripted coming out. I told you, I just don't really trust people that cry on camera. Crying on camera,
You're not wrong for that. Especially if it's edited. If you're crying on live and something happened at that moment and you tear up, I tend to believe that more than edit, put, you see what I'm saying? But, and let me say this, he is a good morning queen, grand rising queen brother. I'm not saying all the brothers are like that.
That probably got some people, because usually the grand rising people are supposedly down to earth.
If he says grand rising queen and he's flashy, run. That don't go together.
Wait, those two things don't go together. Those two things do not go together. All right. Well, let's get into this. We're just gonna do one of the Kendra G videos. One case. And I want to talk through this. What I do like about this show, we're gonna recap Dating Download, which is OWN's digital series starring Kendra G. Blondie said Christal researched social media influencers who were unalived by their husband or boyfriend. I had to change my
yeah. Hey, that's real. Shout out to that sister. I know one of the sisters passed away out the country this year. I do know that. That's a big thing. It's scary. Yeah. I'm glad you said that. I just seen that.
I think that social media, it allows people to create a false narrative, right? And it in creating that false narrative, I think people are desperate to keep the image up. And it's just like, you know, they have been situations in the past where I remember when I was in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and there was this big, you guys may remember the not IT, but like, oh my gosh, WorldCom and MCI, those belly up, right?
Yeah.
Right around 9/11, right? It just was a horrible, the economy was in a horrible place. And where I lived in Tulsa, Oklahoma, WorldCom and MCI had big plants there. And so those companies went out of business, and it was a huge, like, all of a sudden people's retirements were gone. A lot of those execs were gone. And a couple of this, I was working for a community nonprofit coalition. So I would do a service learning class at a high school. So 3 different high schools, and they all were a part of this leadership program that I was a part of. 3 of my students, because this was a very, very well-off area that I was doing working in, but it was the kids that were kind of bad. It was the alternative version of a very rich school. So the kids were in a service learning program. Anyway, long story short, 3 of my students' fathers committed suicide during that time because they were either at WorldCom or MCI. And when those companies, when all that stock went down, and it was just a horrible situation that happened, and a lot of them lost everything because some of those the higher execs had stock in the company. and they were vested. I mean, everything that they had was gone. And I remember one of the little boys in my class, because he was just constantly getting in trouble. And I took him outside because, teenagers are precious, even though they're not my favorite people, but just a big adult body with this little boy face. And he was always sad. His father had unalived himself because he couldn't face the reality that had happened to them and look at his family, right? And there were several of them. There were some of them that were missing. It was a big thing in Tulsa during that time. Because Tulsa was a city that was either you had oil money or it was what is that called? Like, it's not IT, it's something else. The word that was like there was a word for it. It's like phone companies and all that. It was doing really.
That's who I had my two-way pager from. My first, it was MCI and WorldCom, and I never had a bill. Ever.
Well,
had a bill.
Obviously something was wrong. Yeah.
That's when I should have known.
Yeah. Now, hold on.
But I can't even imagine. That was a real big deal, though.
No, that was a huge deal. But my point is, people, when you build something, and a lot of times people that look like they have a lot of money are actually living paycheck to paycheck, right? And it looks very good on the outside, but there's a lot of stress on the inside, and it causes people to do crazy things. I think at this point, social media has created some of those same situations where people have this lifestyle that looks one way and they have to keep it up by any means necessary. And then when the cards things start falling down, then they can't keep up with it. And then it becomes a desperation situation. And I think sometimes, unfortunately, your spouse is a reflection of you. And that is, for those people that I knew that unalived themselves, there were also situations of DV and other abuse because when, pressure burst pipes. And a lot of times those situations can be very, very, very violent. But my point is, we just have to be very careful who we put our faith in, don't believing in material things and praising material things and putting material things on a pedestal is always a setup for a letdown.
Hey man, you worship things, boy. Woo! It's cool to like them and enjoy them, but to worship them and put them in front of people that you love and other human beings, I think is a setup for disaster.
Yeah, and I think but I think even for people, because they said a lot of single women, I've heard that a lot of single women watch these situations. These men are saying, "Hey, if he don't have this amount of money, you don't need him. If he don't do this." And then that man, is not doing the same thing either. I think we have to be careful about putting stock in fantasies as women, right? It's just, and we see that all the time. We're getting ready to watch this dating situation with Kendra G and this young lady. But it seems like more and more I'm seeing women that are believing in this fantasy. What's up, Jamal? When you look online and you see a man saying all the things that you want to hear and none of the things that you don't, 9 times out of 10, that's not a man you need to be listening to, because he's using you. He's using your likes, your follow, your all of that to promote his business, but he's not being real. And he's going to, and a lot of those women remain single because they're sitting up. He said, that man, give me $50,000, give me $150,000 for edge. That is not realistic. Because guess what? If Gun Boss gives me $250,000, that takes out of our house. What am I doing? Like, what? That's not how relationships work. Why would he take a $250,000 out of the house to put it back in the house?
I wish I would pay a woman to be my wife.
Well, I mean, I think you should spoil your wife, but
that's totally different. I'm not paying her to be my wife. If she's already my wife, I didn't pay her to be there. Then I get that.
We're about to talk to Charlie. She's a 37-year-old mental health professional
Hold on. Sorry. was an accident. The production just went out of control. But I wanted to start this in a second. It was just we were still talking about that, and it just all of a sudden Kendra just jumped in and started talking. But
in her mouth. I know.
But no, I think this show, and I think a lot of people that listen to dating conversations. I think that's why I like what we do, because we make fun of some stuff. But we're not selling dreams. Mo is certainly not selling dreams. As a single man, he's not selling dreams. He's not. And I'm definitely, as a married woman, not selling dreams either. I know Gun Boss and I are not perfect. I'm happy, but we are not perfect, and we are not a social media influencer couple. He is a real person with a real job. We have real issues, and we are loving each other, but it's not something that if there's anything to aspire to, it's just the fact that we're just trying our best.
That's why, if you notice on the screen before, it had lifestyle influencer, and I took it off.
Oh wow, I did not notice that. Wow.
Yeah, that's the reason, because I don't want nobody to think, even when people know about the channel and us talking, and they be like, well, you're a relationship specialist. I'm like, no, I'm not.
But you know what? We have a new term. We do have, because we have a project we're working on. We are relationship anthropologists.
And break that down for the good people.
So what a relationship anthropologist is, what's up, Edna? An anthropologist is someone that basically studies the history of a thing. And so what we do is we talk about relationships, we look at them, we examine them, dating, deal breakers, disasters, dilemmas.
Our own even. Just
and we put our own, and we say when we're wrong. Y'all tell us when we're wrong. We do all of that. But it is not from the perspective of we know and you don't. It's from the perspective of we are examining things, looking at it, and trying to do better. Edna said explores things, and that's what we do. We
went to the school of life. I didn't go to this or went online to do that, or like that lady had the fake degrees on the wall. I didn't do none of that. It's 55 years of living. That's what I'm talking about.
I have a degree, but it ain't got nothing to do with relationships at all. But what I have is I have dated in Atlanta, and I feel like that exponentially
accelerated. Here, boy.
That was an
learn a few things.
Exponential accelerated program in dating. But let's get into this first clip. This first clip is Kendra introducing the young lady. So I want us to watch this clip and then hear everybody's thoughts about what we think is going to happen on her date and what we think about her attitude. Because the last couple of girls we've seen have had really bad attitudes, just in my opinion.
Yeah.
She is looking for a man who is ready to put a ring on it, all right, and make her a wife. She is also a preacher's daughter, so ungodly men need not apply, okay? I can't wait to talk to her. Get on out here, Charlie. Ooh, looking good, girl. I didn't know Mary was this part of the Bible, child.
Well, now you know.
You look good. Yes, how are you doing?
I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you here. Now, before we get into the date, let me get more into your business. Now, you're 37.
Correct.
A mental health professional.
Absolutely.
Do you have any kids?
I don't have any children.
You don't have any kids? Okay. Do you want children?
I do, but I would prefer family first.
Okay. Family first, as in, well, if you have kids, you don't have a family, you mean a husband first.
Correct. That's a part of the family.
Yes, I definitely agree. So let's talk about it. What are your challenges in this LA dating scene?
Well, as an LA native, dating can be difficult.
Okay.
I done ride, I done died, I done did it all. I'm ready to fall in love and just move on with life.
Yes. Now, you know you are a preacher's daughter. Okay, why are you laughing?
I think preacher's kids get such a bad
reputation. I was about to get into that. Like, there's rumors about the preacher's kids, child.
I try to withhold all of those stereotypes to the best of my ability. No, I'm joking. I feel like the church put a lot of pressure on me to get married, but I wanted to be married. I want to be partnered, and I definitely want to honor God.
Do you think that the church sometimes may push marriage when it's not potentially the right thing for those two individuals?
Absolutely.
Okay. So how have you been able to be strong enough? Like, first of all, I'm going to go backtrack. Has your daddy tried to marry you to somebody in the church?
Every time trying to sell me a creek.
Are I got the right dinger for you, girl. Come meet my daughter.
That's funny. More than anything, I love myself. Like I know exactly who I am, and my parents love me. I'm well loved, so there's no need to settle. Like I believe that everything that settles ends up at the bottom. So I'm right where I need to be.
Okay, so I want to be respectful, but I do want to ask this question because this is a rumor about preacher kids. Now, are you celibate until marriage?
A lady never kisses and tells.
Ooh, okay. Well, that means the right one got to find out that answer. She won't even give it to me. I respect that. I do. Now, before we go to the date, would you date a man with kids?
I would, absolutely.
Okay, that could be a good stepmama.
A bonus mom. I don't know about a step, but a bonus for sure.
Okay. I see you guys are saying that it's the echo, and we can't.
Yeah, I thought it was me. Okay.
Okay, so you can hear echo too?
Yeah.
So maybe let's try with the next one.
I can still hear it, but there is an echo.
Okay. I don't know I don't see if you can mute yours.
I think it's because we're on both. You got both of the things up.
Oh.
And one is playing slightly behind the other.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Okay. Because it didn't happen like that before.
It didn't.
I don't know. I'll play the other one, but for those of you that could not hear, first of all, she's beautiful girl. Absolutely beautiful girl. Bad. You see, don't say that.
No, I can. So if somebody was like, we'd be like, okay, that's a compliment. I didn't say it and be like, ew, she is.
Saying like
I didn't say no. I didn't say nothing about. I said okay. Chocolate. If I was brown or if somebody was tall, I'd be like, okay. If they were short, okay, shorty. It's not a bad thing. I didn't say it.
Man, I just hate the.
Nah, man. Hey, man. So women can say she can like a chocolate man, but I say okay, chocolate.
That is true. Women do say they like tall, dark.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay, all right.
And she's no virgin. No virgin is wearing a dress like that. I'm telling you. And they ain't accepting nobody's kids if they are.
But let me ask you this. So the way that she was dressed.
Yeah.
Are we feeling that is saying something about her? Because I mean, really,
yep.
what it was, okay. Speak on it, Mo.
No, and not necessarily bad, but it's just a little sexual energy. Not too much, but the way she came and she poked the butt out when she sat out, the slit up the dress, that ain't innocent, pure Liberian preacher's child in the pulpit watching her daddy. It's a little edge to it. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just a little edge to it. That's all. Okay,
that's fair. The dress did have a very, very high slit.
She ain't wearing that to church.
Well, I hope not, because there are churches where people are saying. Jamal says she holds it well. Grown lady. She's a beautiful body. And very beautiful.
She has very sexual energy. Like I'm good with it.
Okay. All right. Thus far. So she said that she's I liked her answers. I didn't feel like she was some women I think are so focused on their own looks that they're like, they're very demanding depending on what they have. She seemed confident, but not over the top.
That part.
Yeah. I think confident in a grounded way.
Right. So far.
Have you ever dated a preacher's daughter? Did you choke?
Yeah, because that answer is yes, I have.
Okay, and did you find any of those stereotypes to be correct?
Not in her, but I've heard the rumors before that, and I've known the people. Some of them were the first young ladies I knew that were pregnant in high school. Were those
the first young ladies that were
pregnant in high school that I knew and where I lived happened to be preachers' kids? Yes.
Okay. But you didn't have that experience with the girl.
Nah, and then the experience I had, I was well grown, and they, were preachers' kids somewhere else. They moved to Atlanta, so I never experienced that in it. You know what I mean?
Okay. Have you ever dated a woman that was very religious? Like, because this young lady, she's still in the church. Have you ever dated that? I'm asking because this is something that I've heard. I hear men have an issue with women that are, you know, that are in the church and that are very religious. I've heard a lot of men say that has become a problem for various reasons.
Yeah, but not necessarily like, kind of like the edge. Like they understand certain things, but none of them ever tried to push that on me. Okay. You know, I just think they were really curious about possibly like the other side of the tracks, and just kind of, they will invite you out. And if I'm invited, 9 times out of 10, I go just to see, you know what I mean, and experience the energy. But to their church, and, you know, send you scriptures, but not too pushy, just introducing you, checking your temperature to see how you feel about it. But none of them never tried to change me. Okay. Never, you know, none of that.
Did they ever bring it up as the reason why they wanted, like, try to control you or get you to change your mind about something or impress upon you?
Never, not once. They just said, have you ever thought about, that's a go. That's as far as it ever went. Okay. For me.
That's good. All right. Yeah, Blondie's right. Sarah Jakes had her first child as a young teenager, and she's been very candid about that whole, you know, the pressure, the expectations, her not wanting to live to, to those expectations. The Bella 5 Sis Mo asked, did they have sex before marriage? I'm assuming if they were dating Mo, the answer is yes.
Oh, yeah. They definitely did. Like, you're groomed to a certain thing and it becomes a routine. Yeah. And I've seen them, and I really can say, and guys too, let me say this. There's more guys that I know who, I'm thinking about 2 right now. And one is famous. No matter what he does, he I don't care how late he's out, he goes to church on Sunday. Mm-hmm. And he gets word and he prays, but then it's this, you know him too, and it's this other side of him. But he shows up, and at least he shows up. There's some people that don't even do that. And I call him, he'd be like, text me, I'm getting out of church, or I just left church. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And all I could, if it makes you a better person, so be it. All I could do is respect it. Yeah. You know, but the women I know that do it, they be like, I'll just watch church online, because they ain't getting.
I had a friend in college that would, he would do all the debauchery the night before, but he was going to make mass every Sunday. He was not going to miss mass. And I think there's a scripture in the Bible that says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart from it. I think that you go back to what you've been taught and what you believe. Yeah. And I think that's a good thing. I agree. Like, you don't push it on other people, but I think that, having something that you believe in, there's nothing wrong with that.
Not at all.
All right, so let's jump into the date. If it has an echo and we need to stop it, we can do that, and we can just talk through it, and we'll make sure that we get the problem fixed before next week. Let's see here.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Sean.
Charlie.
Nice to meet you.
My first impression when I saw him was he is cute. He has such a nice smile.
So,
I'm from LA, South Central to be exact. I went to USC.
Okay. What'd you go to school for?
I'm a therapist now, so
I
study psychology.
Yeah.
We love therapists.
Do we?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Definitely.
I love that for us. I like the way he presented himself. He seemed really cool, laid back. He was like leaning in his chair. He was relaxed. I provide comfort, so.
What's your longest relationship?
I was engaged
Okay.
in 2018, and we were together for 4.5 years. I'm a monogamous mommy, so I have pretty long relationships. What's your longest relationship?
Just got out 5 year. We were together from 2020 until we stopped speaking in October.
Do you have any children?
I don't. Do you have children?
4.
Okay.
I'm just
I'll say that.
I'm just joking. I don't have any children, but I would like children eventually.
Okay. How do you feel about, have you ever freeze your eggs? Is that like a thing that you would do? Or?
That's a great question. I thought about it only because of some of my work I work with the autism population. And I'm seeing that the older the women are, the less valuable their eggs are. So I got like a little spooked. But then I decided to put it in God's hands. And I was like, if it's meant for me, it's meant for me. And I'm going to just trust the process. Yeah. What do you do for fun?
Outside of working out, I like to travel a lot. Also, I like to write kind of poetry, just like to myself. I'm someone like, we're dating and it's anniversaries or whatever, I send flowers. And I always make sure the car has like something that actually like makes sense and like,
This is a day I can see any flowers.
Oh yeah.
My biggest turn off on this date was that he didn't bring me any flowers. That's okay. No worries.
That's crazy. I shouldn't have been flowers. But we're going on another day. I'll definitely get you some flowers. Yeah, for sure.
Have you found a church in LA?
I have not, for sure.
My godfather is a pastor. I grew up in the church. My stepdad is a minister. And I'm pretty heavy in the ministry as well. I might invite you to church. Maybe. I'm not sure. But you know how it is when you walk in with somebody. We're automatically married. So we'll give it some time. I did feel a connection because I love to laugh. And it was really fun. Like, this was probably one of the funner dates I've been on.
Okay. I like that.
I'm distracted.
Why are you distracted? Her breasts weren't even out there like that.
No, that's the same outfit she had on the confessional on the side.
No. Well, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm distracted.
Why? That was distracting?
For me, yes. I mean, I still would have went through it, but I would have been looking down every couple minutes or whatever it is. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Obviously you are. With the legs she was showing earlier, right? But I think he's saying, so if she had come with the slit from the dress, you would have been distracted as from both, right?
I wouldn't have been looking under the table for that, but this is right in front of me. Like, bam. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but they were just kind of out there. Sorry.
But she was not really busty, so.
I don't know. It was just a lot of flesh.
It was a lot of flesh. I'm looking, I gotta go back and look at it again because I'm like,
it's a lot of flesh. It's a lot.
Oh, okay. All right. I see. Let me take a screenshot and send it so we can look at it together as a family.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it wasn't enough I'm stopping and drooling, but it's enough where I'm gonna glance down.
And you were back on the screen. You had your hands out like breasts.
And then here's the thing. The person I'm going to say something. I'm going to be like, just to break the ice and be like, listen, you look beautiful, but if I don't mean any disrespect if my eyes keep glancing up and down, but you look gorgeous and blah, 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 blah.
You would say that?
Yeah, I've said it before.
I should have known. And what did the girl say?
You're so silly.
And you were dead ass serious?
I was dead serious.
Jesus Christ. Hold on, I'm pulling up this photo of because you know what? That's crazy how men and women are so different.
But this is the thing.
How did you look at that? I
live in Atlanta with all these people that they say are whatever. And the fact that I'm a man looking at a woman, you shouldn't be offended.
No, I'm not offended.
I'm saying the woman.
Yeah, I just didn't think I didn't think that outfit was that to the point where it would be a distraction. Like
it was just a lot of flesh.
If they were hanging out, but they weren't hanging out.
She was glistening. It's a lot of flesh. She put the glisten on for a reason.
Well, she just wanted to be moisturized. I mean, there's nothing wrong with
she was overly glistened. She
was not overly glistened. Oh my God. She was not overly glistened. We're getting ready to take a Christal. Why do you doubt the crazy thing? I know. Come on, you look. That is Mo.
Come on now. At that point, does she got something? Is that just the top, or that's connected to something?
That is a dress. That's the top of the dress.
So it's material under that, right?
Yes.
A little bit. So there's no stomach or nothing. It's still a lot of shoulders. The cleavage comes up to the necklace. Because from right there, it just looks like a bra top. Right there.
It's connected to the dress.
I know, but under the table, it just looks like a bra top. I like it. It's cool.
That is not. Do you guys think that? Jamal, what do you think, Rob? Come on.
I didn't say anything was wrong with it. It's just something.
Saying Jamal, would you have been distracted? Jamal,
would you have glanced down every few sentences and took a gander? Because I would.
Not hair. Y'all don't like her hair? Did you have a problem with her hair?
I ain't gonna lie. I'm glad somebody said, well, no, there was cool. On the Kendra when she's interviewing
Oh,
her.
I like this better than the swoop. I wasn't liking the swoop.
See, I'm not crazy.
I didn't like the swoop, and I'll tell you what, I did like the hair. I like the hair because it was like a flip, which is cool. She's like into older styles, but the swoop was hard, like it had gel, and I didn't like that.
See, I thought y'all was gonna say, Mo, you're doing too much. I wasn't a fan of the swoop, and I was wondering what was under the swoop. But when I saw this, we're clear to land.
We're clear to land. We're clear.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was a whole different texture under the swoop, but we're clear to land.
No, it did. It looked like this was soft, but this was hard. Okay.
That's what I'm talking
Jamal says she looked good. I would not have been distracted by the dress. She's just a pretty girl and came with it. No problem. You see that? I like it.
I never said it was a problem.
You said you couldn't focus. You came out talking about
I will be taking a gander every now and then. Yes. Sorry.
You were like this. I'm distracted.
I was. Sorry.
But I didn't think it was, I thought that was a nice look for a date.
From right there, it just looked like a Victoria's Secret top. It didn't look like there was a bottom to it.
But she had on it. The dress was very fitted.
So
she likes to show her body off. She has a great body. She likes to show it off. Okay, so let's talk about the date. What I like about this young lady is that she's lighthearted. See, she made a joke when he was like, "You have any kids?" She was like 4, and he was like, "Whoa," and she was like, "I'm just kidding." Like she didn't seem like, it didn't feel like, even though they were asking each other rapid fire questions, it didn't feel like she was looking for him to mess up.
Right. That part. There you go.
I feel like some of the young ladies that we've seen, you feel like they're waiting for a opportunity to go,
That part.
That. Hey, you there said her fit said as much. I guess her outfit, it was red and pink. I thought it was super cute, but she's open. It's open.
She's definitely open. Yeah.
Okay, Edna has quoted 1 Timothy, like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broided hair or gold or pearl. But Edna, do you do that?
Keep it real.
Are you in modest apparel, Edna? Because I just don't picture you in modest apparel. Maybe you are now, but I just don't picture Edna in modest apparel. Edna says she is now. But which becometh women professing God about religious women. Right, yeah.
She didn't say she was religious.
She just said, well, no, she does. She does say that later.
You could go and still not, and I guess what I'm saying is she's not like, she wasn't carrying a Bible. She wasn't preaching things. She just said she was a preacher's daughter. Her stepfather's a preacher. She wasn't heavy-handed with it.
Yeah, she wasn't. But it's crazy though, because she does say, and I listened to the whole thing. So she does say that she's in church all the time and that she has a position in the church. So I do think that a man could, why are you laughing?
Nothing.
I do think that a man could be confused if you're talking about being in the church all the time. And
I'm not confused. I know what that is.
What is it, Mo?
That means when she's not in church, she unleashes the beast. I'm telling you.
And that works to your benefit. That is
damn right it do. Damn right.
Oh my gosh. I do want to bring up something else though, that I think, and most of us in this demographic, and this would never have to worry about this at this point. But she's 37 years old. She doesn't have, Edna says, I love turtlenecks. Now Edna's just trolling us.
Yeah, there you go.
Edna's trolling us now. I'm not going to do that with you, Edna. I don't believe that you're in turtlenecks. But she said that she's 37. She wants to have children. And he said, have you considered freezing your eggs? And she says no, because she wants to operate in faith. Now, I did not realize, I did look up, and I think this is a good thing to point out, specifically for young women that are dating and that do want to have a family. But advanced maternal age is connected to a slight increase in the risk of having a child with autism.
I heard that before. Yeah, that's real.
Studies show that women who give birth in their late 30s or over 40 have a moderately higher chance. 50%, that is not moderate. 50% is crazy odds. If you have a child over 40, you have a 50% higher chance of having a child diagnosed with autism compared to others ages 25 to 29.
I'm good.
My God, I did not know that. Genetic and cellular change. As women age, their eggs are more prone to minor genetic mutations and chromosomal variations. Oh my God.
Yeah, do you want to roll the dice?
50% feels crazy, hey there.
It does.
That feels like it's for damn sure. It's 1 out of 2. 1 out of 2 does not feel like moderate. 1 out of 2 feels wild. Man, freezing your eggs is very expensive, and Kendra does. They do talk about that. But I do wonder this: if you ladies were on a date and you said you wanted to have a baby, because I think that's a very real conversation, right? If you want to have children and you're 37 years old and you're not in a relationship, I do think it makes sense for a person to bring that up. Like, so what are you doing if this is something that you are that is a priority for you? You know.
So if you freeze your eggs before that window, they're saying you might the percentage is lower, correct?
Well, yes, because the egg is younger. You're freezing the egg while it's younger to maintain it, and then you can either have it inserted in you if the doctor says your body is likely to be able to carry, or
you get a surrogate. Right?
Surrogate. Mm-hmm.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Lonnie said, my sister had her last child at 39. Thank God she is healthy. She is 6 and very smart.
What did Janet Jackson, anybody know, did she freeze the eggs or she did it for real?
I don't know. I don't think we can really rely on celebrities because they're not always honest. Although we know Janet was really pregnant.
Yeah. Yeah, we do know that. That's right.
Mm-hmm. But we don't know if it was an egg that was frozen or not. And I also think that I don't feel like you can act in fear. Janet Jackson was 50 years old when she gave birth to her son.
So her son is 10 now. Okay.
Yeah. Well, she had because he was born in 2017.
And she just turned 60 earlier this year.
That's crazy. Mm-hmm. Okay. Popcorn says I was blessed to have a healthy baby at 43. That's a beautiful thing. And I think that it's a case by case basis, and I don't think we should ever operate in fear. But I do think that we have to be realistic if you want to be a mom, you have to be aware, because I do have a lot of friends that waited until they got to be in their late 40s and early 50s. And now they're saying, oh, I wish I had a baby. I wanted to have a baby. And they can't have one at all. Like, they don't have eggs that are, able to do that. Ashanti, just had a baby and she's in her early 40s.
So if that's the percentage of that, it made me think about the percentage of divorce.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a little higher, isn't it?
Divorce is like 50%.
So it's you know what I mean? Think about that now.
So what is your...
but like you said, moving in fear is never healthy. Like I saw 50 Cent say this thing about, when he was talking about getting on a plane and people that are nervous. He was talking to Oprah. It's an interview. He finally got with Oprah. It was at his grandmother's house. And he said, pray or be scared, but don't do both.
Yeah, I've heard that before. But that's hard to do.
It is, but it's like, where's your faith at that time?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not, and it's not an easy thing to do. It's not.
Right. It's not. And I understand. So we're going to get into what she says. There's a little bit of conversation between her and Kendra about that. I wonder if would any of you have been offended at the young man asking you that on the date? would anybody have been offended by him asking, you know, are you considering freezing your eggs? Of course, most of us never had to go through that because that wasn't really a thing when we were younger, and most young women of color did not have issues getting pregnant. You know,
I can understand how some women could be offended at that, but then you got to understand that it's still also like, especially if we're not there, that question can be a little premature on the first date. You know, maybe second or third.
But I don't know. I think on the first one, it would be less personal. You know, like, well, you know, because you're 37, age is the number that it is. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I don't think.
But it's like, hey, man, let's eat. Let's. That's a heavy. That could be a heavy. She took it lightly, but that could be a heavy conversation because you don't know if you're offending the person by saying that. It's kind of.
Yeah.
I understand both sides.
Yeah, it is. It is a weird. Well, it's a weird dating show. Hey, it's a weird dating show. It is because they're just rapid firing questions at each other. But I could see asking someone, but depending on the woman, it could be
that part. If she don't like you, it's offensive.
Well, not only that, if it's something that she's concerned about, it could be kind of
there you go. That too.
If it's something that she's been worried about, because there are women who desperately want to be a mom, and I think we see that like on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Shamia loses an embryo, and that's the last, I think, boy embryo that she had. And she's really hurt about it. Her husband wants a boy. And it's you know, it depends on where you are if that question would.
That's a great point. That's a good point.
You know what I mean? So I guess.
Somebody just, good.
No, go ahead.
No. This had nothing to do. Somebody sent me a photo. I'll send it to you that Ray the Love cast member, I don't even know what season this is pregnant.
Oh, wow. Okay, send it to me and I'll see if I can put it up.
And I don't know what season. I don't even know who these people are, but shout out to the person that did send it.
Oh, I think it's the girl that was in Miami. I think I know who you're talking about. She's married and she's pregnant, and yeah. Edna says, I don't think it's offensive. I think it just depends on the person, and it depends. I think you kind of have to read the room. As a man, Morgan, yeah. Oh, Sabrina's pregnant too. Oh, wonderful. I knew Morgan.
I don't know who it is.
I knew Morgan was pregnant. I didn't know Sabrina was as well. All right, this is the final part of the date. This is the final part of the show. Kendra is talking to the young lady about the date. And now that I'm looking at this shirt, I'm looking at the top of this outfit. This is a two-piece. This actually feels more revealing than the other one does. But let's get into it. You guys let me know if we need to turn it off because of the echo.
Before that blind date you set you up, when was your last date?
The day before.
The day before?
No, I'm just joking. I'm single.
I love. Now, what does that mean for you?
Simply means that I'm open to meeting people. I'm open to giving and receiving love. I'm just kind of flowing with what flows to me.
Okay, I love that. On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you think it went with Sean?
I think it went probably at an 8.
At an 8?
Yeah, that's pretty high.
Well, how did he miss the perfect 10? Oh, he didn't bring the flowers.
Correct.
Okay, now you're very serious about that.
As a heart attack.
So when a man shows up on a date, he has to have flowers.
I think I like men that are intentional.
Okay.
I think standards and expectations are not synonymous. So that's just a standard.
Well, let's go into this whole standard of dating. Are you the girl that he picks up, or would you rather meet him at the date?
I would prefer he send a car.
Send a car? Ooh, child, Jesus is riding Big Willie, huh?
Only the best for there, right? Only the best.
Okay, so he has to send a car.
Or I'll drive myself. It just depends.
But you don't want him to pick you up?
Absolutely not.
Okay, tell me why.
I'm a private person.
Okay.
And I think with him picking me up, he'd have to have my address.
Yeah.
That's a lot, especially in LA.
No, I understand that. I think we have, this is modern dating. We have evolved a lot. And I think there was a time when you had to pick up a woman before you went on a date because you had to meet her parents. That was kind of what the courting process was like. Now it's like, send a car or I'll see you there.
Correct.
Yes. Now, I love that you're dating, and we saw Sean was one of them. Are you finding that you're attracting a lot of attentional men?
You know what? I'm attracting men from every walk of life. I don't know if I'm meeting them crazy, making them crazy, but dating hasn't been the best for me, to be honest.
Okay. You know, I watched the date with you and Sean. You guys had great chemistry. Yeah. Did you know his age?
I did not. He didn't know my age either.
I know, you guys never even asked the ages. I think at one point in time you said something that alluded to y'all around the same age. But how old are you?
I'm 37.
You're 37. And how old is Sean?
31.
31. So have you ever dated a younger guy?
Absolutely not. Not that young. I told him I don't want his mom coming after me trying to fight me.
Well, 6 years is not that much younger.
That's a pretty big age gap.
Really?
Yeah.
So what is the age gap you would desire to date in?
Within 4 or 5,
I don't know, 6. I just felt really young.
So when you learned his age, did things change for you?
It didn't change, but it made sense.
It made sense. Okay. One of the things that he brought up that I'm not really used to him bringing it up like that, but he brought up the idea of freezing your eggs.
Yeah.
And you were open-minded to the conversation. Sure. You're 37 years old. Have you decided to do that?
I have not. Again, I put it in God's hand. And whatever.
Child, God works through people. You know, this is God telling us right now. One thing I would say, I strongly suggest it. And the reason why is because it buys you more time. Now, granted, it is going to be a more expensive process, but I think that, you know, men have the luxury of being able to procreate a little bit later than women. But if you freeze your eggs, it doesn't make you get into a rush. Because there are times when women, because they're trying to.
Okay, so they talked a little bit about that, but I think that she decided that she did not want to go out with this guy because of his age. And then I also think that he did not, you know, maybe he was not as mature as she was. He did still want to download. I'm not gonna lie. So Mo, were you also distracted by Kendra's dress? Because Kendra consistently has the girls pushed up and over.
I don't look at that lady like that. But here's the thing, right? Okay, dating intentional. I can make this, if it's a blind date, I can make the second date intentional. I'm not gonna be intentional for something I don't know what I'm walking into.
I want you to bring flowers on the first date. I don't think that's fair for you to say, I want you to be intentional when I don't know. Just like she was surprised at the age, I'm surprised at everything. And then she's like, oh, he was handsome. But what if he wasn't? Like, I can be more intentional on the second date. I intend to show up. That's my intention. Now, once I'm here and I see what it is, then if there's a second date, I can be more intentional. But I think that's unfair to just expect somebody to be intentional, pushing towards a relationship when they don't even know who you are. But you can bring flowers. I'm asking Gunboss.
I'm just saying. I don't know.
But why didn't you bring me flowers on our first date? That's not why. Because you should have had the flowers. You didn't even know I was going to be late.
You already told me.
I think I told you that.
You probably did, because that's what you do.
Oh, well, I would like you to bring some on our next date.
Crickets.
Hello?
Listen.
Why are you not bringing?
I'm going down the mall.
Okay, but are you going to bring flowers? Goodbye, boss.
Like if you guys talked on the phone and made a connection and did all that before
he said I told him that I wasn't big on flowers. But you didn't bring anything. You could have brought something, a bottle of wine or something.
Bought herself.
Okay, it was in the morning time. I just thought about that. Okay, good day. Good day.
Hey, my presence is a presence. Look, we could do this after.
That's not the point that I was late. Goodbye. I have you on here and you're messing up my thing. Linda said, "Gun boss telling you gonna bring that mortgage payment receipt. Don't hype him up."
Ooh, I like that. I like that, Linda.
I do, but I think men should still bring flowers on first dates.
So we're supposed to bring flowers on first date, but now we're not supposed to ask like everything changes on the times have changed, and there's
It's
nothing
not
wrong
that
with how we date changes.
Yeah.
There's
I don't
nothing wrong
think
with
people
it.
do that, but I do agree. Somebody said earlier, she said, I would rather he send a car for me. If he sends a car, he still has to know your address, because that's, or you want him to pay for it, and you
Or you want him just to give him the number and they talk to you, and you see what I'm saying? All that dumb.
That's a lot going on. That's a lot going on. Jamal agreed with Linda. Linda not giving Gun Boss the
no, but you would. Well, I don't know if you don't, but there's a lot of women that don't like flowers.
I do like flowers. I don't know if I told him that or not. I'm gonna have to do some research on that. But no, Kenny Ray says, if y'all people are talking about Kendra G's dress, I don't like Kendra G's dress ever.
I ain't
but
paying no attention. I couldn't even tell you what she had on.
I think that's her style, though. I think she likes that. It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on up here. It's a lot happening. Something coming over the shoulder and in the big
she do a lot of this.
Yeah.
At least she don't do the scarf though. I respect it.
And it is also titties on top of that. It's a titties on top of that. Jamal says a lot of women don't appreciate the flowers for some reason.
Thank you, Jamal. That's true.
Mo has had some bad.
I had bad luck
with flowers, with sending flowers to a woman's job, and then she's not there that day. A ruffled sash is diabolical. A ruffled sash is crazy. That's what was on that dress. I think, and I mean, Kendra's a beautiful woman. I think that she needs to have a stylist that gets with her and kind of comes up with some signature stuff for her. Because I love her doing this show, but them dresses be wild. Yeah, I thought they are smashed in. Exactly. I was like, this is just me. That doesn't even look like cleavage. It looks like it hurts. It looks like it's cutting off the circulation.
But if she got things out there, like, I mean, if she got a certain size, I mean, it ain't too much she can do.
Smashed, though. They could be cradled. They should be cradled. They shouldn't be smashed. It's like this. Like it's. See, you see how that's creating a bubble? Like that's a smash. Just like they're not supposed to be smashed. Kendra gonna give short and tight and titties out or nothing else. And you ain't lying. And every single time, that's it. That is the caption on.
That's her look.
That's her look. But yeah, this girl, I think she's a really, really pretty girl. I do think she, her outfits were a little revealing. And I think that could be confusing because later in this interview, she said that she is very involved in the church and she would invite somebody to church with her. And I think that could give a different. These
ain't church hours. I'm telling you, they come out the bag when they're not there. It's their time to release.
But that also could give mixed signals.
Very confusing.
I want you to come with me to church, and I'm in leadership in the church, and that's something I'm involved in all the time. But then I'm also tempting you with and I think women should be able to dress, sexy and feminine, but there is a difference between feminine and sensual and a slit halfway up. Because if she stood up and it's tight and it's a slit and it's right, yeah.
I'm just saying.
All right. Well, what did you guys think about that date? Do you guys think that? I don't think that 37 and 31 are that big of a difference, depending on the maturity of the person.
And he didn't come off immature.
No, in fact, when I look at them, I thought they were the same. I would never thought he was only 31. He looks older than 31 to me. He looks maybe mid 30s. Yeah, I would not have assumed that, but I think it just depends on the maturity level of the person. And I also think sometimes, I think that's an example of women not being realistic. If you want to tell somebody that your church is a big part of your lifestyle,
right.
Are most women religious but not living up to the definition? It appears. Mo, do you agree with that? Do you think most women are religious but not living up to the definition?
I think
and
it varies.
That's a hard thing, though. That's a hard thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It varies, but as long as they got a good heart and they make the effort, I mean, I'm not, I've seen it where the women, it's, it's a Bible here, it's a blunt here, and they're trying to figure it out.
Well, that's life.
You know what I'm saying?
That's really where we all are.
That's all. And I get it, but I applaud the effort and they getting in there and trying to make things happen.
Edna says, Mo, is that Bozo the clown on your desk? No, Edna.
I can't keep talking about my. I'm taking it off. I'm not putting it back on there no more.
Can I tell you something? I don't like it.
Oh, that was my. I thought I was sharing that with y'all. Now y'all hurt my damn feelings.
I didn't like it either. It looked kind of weird. I don't like them. I don't understand why people have them. Do they mean something?
Leave me alone. Listen. I hurt my feelings. Just go on.
Makeup and Mimosa says the pastors are cheating and creating other families and households, but still remain pastors. That's a good point. So maybe everybody is religious and not living up to the definition. Everybody is religious and not living up to the definition.
It could be a difficult thing to do in this worldly world.
Tammy said, I like it, but it looked like Bullwinkle. Well, I did not like it. And
damn it, man. I'm not sharing nothing with y'all no more. I collect these things, man. Damn.
But why?
Because I like them, damn it. That's why.
What do you like about them? I'm just saying, why do you like them?
I think they're a cool piece of art. I have several. I have some with money. I have some sitting down. They're figurines. They're figurines. I'm not explaining shit to y'all. Y'all don't worry about y'all don't have to ever worry about seeing it again.
Don't be like that. Don't be like that. We just ask. We want to know. We want to understand.
It ain't none of y'all business. Keep going.
All right, let's rate that date. What did you think? What did you think about the date? Mo, would you go out with the girl? What did you think about the girl?
No, I didn't have any problem with it. I think she was cool. She didn't say nothing out the way. She was respectful. I mean, the outfit's the outfit. Like she said, I would give the date an 8.
Yeah, I would give it an 8 too.
I wasn't mad at that number.
But I don't think there's anything wrong with a man showing up and putting his best foot forward. Jamal said, see, Mo, that's why I'm here for you, fam. You be holding him down, Jamal.
Thank you.
You be holding him down.
Thank you.
Joda said, Mo, if you like Bozo, do you, honey?
It's not Bozo. It's not even a clown.
It kind of looks like a clown, though. Come on back. Put it back up there. Put it back.
I ain't putting shit back for none of y'all. Y'all won't ever see it again. It made its first and last appearance. Grand opening, grand closing.
I noticed it was there, and I was like, oh, that's weird. Okay. I know when I was over there, you sounds like, why does he have these things everywhere? It's like they're just like the little things at your house, like all over.
They're in my studio. They're not in the well, I do have them in the
living room.
Yeah, I do have them in the living room on the shelf.
Yeah, what if they just came to life and just...
What are you talking about?
Oh, God. All right, let's get to story time. We done been here. I don't know how we ended up here.
Yeah, you got a story to finish. Let's get to that.
We ended up being here too long today. It is 2 hours in. I don't know why. That's my fault. Okay. All right. It is story time, you guys. Let me go ahead and do my little story time. Oh, hey, you there coming with the Bible verse. Whoa. We are all infected and impure with sin. When we display our righteous deeds, they are filthy rags like autumn leaves. We wither and fall, and our sins sweep us away like the wind. You ain't lying, girl. Ooh, yeah. We all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. There's no such thing as perfection. We're all flawed.
And I heard no sin is greater than the other.
The Bible
or less than, whatever how it goes, something like that.
The Bible does say that. Okay, so you guys remember last week I brought up a couple that were married, and the husband came to the wife and he said, hey, I am wondering, would you be open to having a threesome? And the wife was like, I don't know. I'm not sure, if that's something I want to do. And then she ended up becoming pregnant. Now she's pregnant, and in the early stages of the pregnancy, the husband comes back and he actually says, hey, you remember when I brought up us having a threesome? And she says, yes. He says, well, I found somebody. Are you open? Well, she's a little put off because she did not realize he was out looking. So she feels a little uncomfortable, but she says yes. Because at this point, she feels kind of suspicious of him, and she wants to know what's going on because he obviously has, been out moving and shaking. So he brings the girl, and she meets the young lady, and actually she says the young lady looks like her. But taller and thinner because she's pregnant, even though she's not super showing. So they end up indulging, and they have an older child. They have a 10-year-old child. They're pregnant with another child. They end up indulging. The girl becomes like she was pregnant when they had the menage, right? She was in the early stage of pregnancy. So when they first started, they stopped after a while.
That must be a fetish of one of the twos then. Probably him.
I don't know, because she wasn't really showing, she said, when they first started.
Okay.
So she decides, so the lady starts to really become engrossed in the family unit. She kind of becomes like a girlfriend, right? And so she starts buying stuff for the kid, the 10-year-old. And then she comes and surprises them. She has the husband's name tattooed on her. So the wife gets very concerned. She's also, in her later stages of pregnancy, and she's like, this has to stop. I don't feel comfortable. I feel very, very uncomfortable. I feel like she's trying to take my place because she tries to come over and like interact with the older child, to take the child. She offers to take the child to go shopping or something, and she's like, no. So she tells the husband, you have to stop. This has to stop. I don't want this woman around. He doesn't want to let the woman go because he likes the woman a lot, but he finally agrees because she's about to, at this point, she's in the later stages of her pregnancy. He doesn't want to cause her additional stress. So he agrees to let the woman go. So a year goes by, and she sees the woman on Facebook. And they have not, allegedly, the husband is like, I haven't talked to her or anything. She sees her, and she starts to get, she sees the woman on Facebook. So that's, we ended last week, like what happened, right? So she sees the woman, and she's feeling better. She's lost her weight. She's feeling more back to herself. She's, the baby is young. And she reaches out to the woman to just ask how she's doing. And the girl is like, I'm doing fine. I missed you guys, but I understood, at the time it hurt my feelings because I really felt like we were growing together as a throuple. And I really cared about both of you guys. And she says, well, it just didn't feel good to me. And they have a good conversation. Then the wife goes back home, and she cannot stop thinking about the woman. All of a sudden, now that she's no longer pregnant, she is having feelings and wants to return to the situation with the woman. So she tries to deny it. She ends up calling the woman and asking her, can they meet? And the woman says yes. They end up connecting and having an intimate experience. So they end up cheating behind the husband's back. She says she doesn't want her to be back with the two of them, but she just wants to be with her herself. And so they end up connecting the two of them. And this goes on for a while. And then come to find out, she finds out when she and the girl are, I think they were going to they plan to go away for like a weekend or something. And
just
the girl,
them two.
Just the two of them. She tells the husband that she needs to go on a girlfriend's trip with some of her other friends. She doesn't think the husband has any idea that she's been interacting with the girl. She goes out of town with the girl, and the girl gets drunk and is passed out sleep, and she looks at the girl's phone. The phone keeps ringing. It is her husband calling the girl. They both have continued to be interacting intimately with the girl.
Just not together.
Just not together. So the end of the story is she gets angry, she gets furious, she wakes the girl up, she cusses her out, they get into a physical altercation, she leaves her, she flies home, and her and the husband break up, and her and the girl are no longer together.
Mother. While you were being sneaky, you was being snuck on.
He was being snuck on. And that's the thing. I think like whenever these situations happen, you open the door to open the door to it. I mean, it won't shut. You cannot shut it.
But both of y'all wanted her basically to yourselves.
Yes.
And she was playing both.
She played both of them. But the crazy thing is, the husband and her had never stopped.
The husband, I'm pretty sure at that point, he knew she was on the trip as well. And what he was supposed to do, he wasn't supposed to let them do their trip.
Yeah. Oh, he was calling the other girl to talk to her.
But did he know his wife? I mean, the other girl was on the trip with his wife?
No, he didn't.
That's the reason. Oh, okay.
They both were shocked. Yeah. He's probably thinking, hey, she's gone. We can hook up because she's gone. She tricked both of them.
Well, they both cancel each other out. Y'all might as well just get back together.
That's what I thought. I didn't understand why they broke up, but it's because that trust. That's really it. So we're really, I think
But she broke the trust too.
That's what I'm saying. It's really not about the sex. It's about the trust. The trust, the betrayal. And I also think it would be very alarming to me if your husband brought another girl that looks a lot like you. She's the same type. So that he has a type. And she could have pretty much just been your replacement.
That's why you're supposed to let the girl pick the girl. You have less problems. You still might have some. You just have less problems.
Yeah, because I would have felt like, and everybody said, when he said, I got somebody, I'd have been like,
nah, let her pick.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Okay, I didn't expect that. Okay.
Yeah, so that is tonight's story.
Because I saw the chat, a lot of people were trying to say that, oh, he knew her before and that was his baby.
No.
That would have been good too. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, but that's not what happened. But this crazy thing is why would he suggest something like that? Well, at first when he suggested it, and then when he had the girl, she wasn't pregnant, and then she got pregnant, and then they started, they were doing it while the early stages, but that just felt weird.
The wife said yes too fast.
Well, the wife said yes, but she didn't think that she said, I'll think about it. I'm open. And then he came back.
Oh, yeah. Then he came and brought. Yeah.
And then she said the only reason she said yes then is because she was trying to make sure he wasn't sneaking around on her. And then when she saw the girl, she felt better. And she was like, oh, she kind of looks like me. Because it probably like, if it had been a girl that looked a lot different, she might have been a little intimidated, but she was too.
I'll be offended that they look like me.
That's what I'm saying. She wasn't offended.
I'll be like, hold up. You brought me here.
Right. And really that started getting scary when she started trying to reach. When she got the tattoo, I was like, oh, she not going nowhere. She done found something good. Because nobody a tattoo. I got a friend.
I ain't even got a tattoo.
I got a friend that was having an intimate situation with a side chick on his wife. And the wife knew. The wife is okay with that. They have an understanding. But the girl got his name tattooed right above her.
She's competing. See, the wife getting it. Nah.
But a tattoo for a dude that has a wife is crazy.
That's when you gotta sit her down and be like, listen, I'm gonna pay for the removal. But don't you ever.
I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna pay to remove you. You're gonna have to leave. You're gonna have to get out of the. Forget removing. You gotta remove her because that lets you know she's got some. It's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, because you know what is that movie? That could be almost like that obsession thing. She come in there and she dressing like your wife too and all that.
Like, and that's the vibe she was getting while she cut it off. But then couldn't help. She just was attracted. I guess whatever the girl was doing to her was making her excited too.
Yeah. Hey man, that side chick energy could go left real quick.
Very careful. Very, very careful. And then I don't know why. And she said she didn't know. I don't know why she didn't just, when she decided she wanted to deal with the girl again, just bring it back into the fold. And then maybe that, you know what I mean? Like, because they both obviously were really.
It sounded like the husband was in the way.
Yeah. That Hand That Rocks the Cradle was crazy.
That part, that's one of the flicks it reminded me of too. That was a good one.
Yeah. That one with, but yeah, you can't. Can't remove you. I know that's the only thing you can do. I'm not removing the tattoo because that won't remove the mindset that got the tattoo. I can't do that.
True.
We don't have to remove her.
That's true.
That's crazy. I don't know if there's any safe way to do that, but
at the end of the day, it's not.
People play with fire all the time. It's not.
You could tell from my last story that wasn't working, and that's men.
Oh yeah.
And let's see how that was. I got a good one for y'all next Friday though.
I thought you were talking about your story.
My story from last week. Remember?
No, I meant your Minaj story.
Hey, move on. But I got a good story next week.
Friday.
Pardon me.
Edna, every week, every time Edna says something right when we're getting ready to leave, it just causes us to have to stay here a little bit longer. She says threesomes are overrated. Edna,
all right, we got to hear about your experience because obviously you.
No, Edna. Okay, tell us. Just put in the chat, Edna, right now. Why would you say that threesomes are overrated? Why, Edna? Tell us in your words. I experienced something very similar to this story, honestly, but it was in my 20s and I was not married. Wow. Wow. Why is it that when men ask for a threesome, they are never accepting of their woman saying they want another man? I don't know. That's a good question.
Because that's anyway.
Yeah.
You should have questions about your man if he accepts that.
Yeah, but that's also not fair. If you want, if you're okay seeing with her seeing another woman be intimate with you, then you should be okay watching her be intimate with a man.
But the threesome implies everyone's participating with everyone. No, it does not,
because there are.
Yes, that's why it's called a threesome.
There are situations where it's just the trust me.
And you know what that's called? That's not a threesome. That's called what is it? A cocoa? How you say it? Cocoa.
No, I'm talking about two women, and all the women are only doing things to the man. They're not doing things to each other.
And that's not a threesome.
What is it, Mo?
Threesome means everybody participates with everybody. Three people, and they all intertwine with each other.
Linda says, well, I had a threesome with two men, and I also had one with the man and woman. Really?
That's a train, not a threesome, Linda.
I hate women, so that is so.
It's true. Everybody has to participate with one another.
It's at the same time. If both men are dealing with her at the same time, it is not a train. Nah.
I'm just trying to tell you.
It's not, Mo.
I know it's hard to hear, ladies, but it's true.
It's not hard to hear. It's not true. Edna said I took them Theta and Q dogs down in my day.
Edna, go to bed. Go sleep, Edna. It's time to go to bed. Just come on now. Come on now.
Yeah, Linda, I am curious as well. Hit me offline, girl. Hit me offline. I want to know.
And let me be real clear. I never asked for a threesome. Never.
But you did pray for them.
Well, I prayed for the second, and then it happened. I'll say that. But I never initiated. I never asked. I never did anything.
Ask God for one. I'm serious, Linda. Hit me offline. You got my information.
I told him I would like to have another one.
You were like, I prayed that it could happen again. I said, you're not supposed to pray for that.
It happened.
Well, and that's why you got the one with the bull dagger.
But that was two more down the line. But
okay, well, you keep on messing around, and
I don't do it no more. I don't do it.
You're gonna have yourself smashed up against some plastic, and that's what you get. And the quote, you know what? We're all flawed, Tammy. We're all flawed, and we all come short. We've all come short. They that came back after 30. And okay, all right, we're clicking off. It's too late.
Yeah.
And no, ma'am.
And
No, ma'am.
we'll see you on Friday.
Good night, y'all. Good night. We'll see y'all back here on Friday for the put a ring on it she'd have. Lord Jesus. Good night. Good night.
Do you have a dating deal breaker, disaster, or dilemma? Let's talk about it. Welcome to the Dating Diaries.